Hi guys, and welcome to the Ready Hub with me, Dee. Today I'm going to take you through a quick practice that with a focus on the core. So we're going to be working on the abs today. So grab yourself a comfortable spot and we can get started. So we're just going to start in a cross-legged seated position. You can bring your hands to your knees. We're going to lengthen the spine, bring the shoulders up, back and down, shoulder blades together. We're going to bring the focus to the core. So we're going to engage the abdominal muscles. So you're going to squeeze the abdominal muscles here. Core is active. So we're going to have the core active throughout the whole of today's practice. So all the poses that we do, we're going to constantly bring the awareness back to the belly and engage the core. So we're going to start with the breath. So as we inhale and exhale through the nose, we're going to be breathing into the chest and the upper clavicle area. The core is going to remain tight, so the belly isn't rising and falling as usual. So if you just come to close your eyes and bring the awareness to the breath as we inhale and exhale through the nose. So today we're going to begin on all fours. So you can uncross the legs. We're going to come down, bring the palms down under the shoulders, knees down under the hips. We'll just begin for a cat-cow as we warm up the spine. So as we inhale, we'll drop the navel towards the mat. The core remains tight and engaged. We're going to look up towards the ceiling. Exhaling, curling the spine, bringing the chin to chest. Inhaling, dropping the navel towards the mat, looking up towards the ceiling. And exhaling, curling the spine, coming back down. We'll do 2 more rounds of this, working with your own breath. Slow and steady inhales and exhales through the nose. And exhaling, we're going to come back to center. So we're going to ground the weight down into the left palm and the right knee. As we inhale, we're going to stretch the right arm out in front and the left leg back. You can look forward. And as we exhale, we're going to close the fist and bring that knee in towards the elbow. So we're rounding the spine. Inhaling, reaching. Exhaling. Inhaling out. Exhaling in. One more time. And we'll reach out and we'll come back down onto all fours. We'll come to do the same at the opposite side. So we're grounding the weight into the right palm this time, left knee, and we're going to reach that left arm out, right leg. Exhale. Inhaling. Exhaling. Back in. One last stretch out. And exhaling back down onto all fours. So we're going to push into the palms here, making sure they're coming in under the shoulders. And we're going to ground the weight into the palms and into the left knee. We're going to raise the right leg. We're going to kick it up behind. You can also look up. Core remains tight. And down. And again. And down. And again. And down. One last time. And back down to all fours. I'm going to do the same at the opposite side. And back down onto all fours, making sure the core remains engaged. Pushing into the palms and into the left knee. This time we're going to bring the right knee out towards the right side. So core remains engaged. Inhaling to rise it up, exhaling back down. We'll do this 4 times. So inhaling up, exhaling down. And we'll do the same at the opposite side. So inhaling, bring that left knee out to the left side and back down. And back down to all fours. This time we're going to push into the palms. Feel free to stretch out the wrists here if you feel like they're getting a bit painful, or you can come up onto the fists as well if you have weak wrists here. So we're just going to push down into the palms of the hands. We'll curl the toes, core remains tight, and we're just going to gently lift the knees up off the mat so that we're hovering slightly up off of the mat, and then hold it there for a couple of breaths. Okay, so we'll inhale to lift and hover. Exhaling, knees come back to the mat. We'll untuck the toes. We're going to sit back onto the heels, walk the palms out in front, and bring our forehead down to our mat for a child's pose. We can use this time to reconnect with the breath, keeping the core tight. Just bring the breath back to slow and steady inhales and exhales through the nose. And just rest in this position for a few breaths. As we inhale, we're going to look forward, pushing into the palms, come up onto the knees. We're going to tuck the toes at hip distance apart and push up into our downward facing dog. So core remains tight here. Try and bring the heels down towards the mat. If you can't get them there, that's fine. You can have a bend in the knees. Core is tight, just pushing the bum up towards the ceiling. You can bend the knees to pedal the feet out. Just hold it here for a few breaths. Shoulder blades are pulling away from each other. Shoulders are relaxed away from the ears. We're pushing the weight evenly into all fours. So you have 2 options for this next round. So option 1 is remaining in your downward dog. You can raise the right leg as you inhale, and as you exhale, you're going to be pulling the knee in towards the left, the nose, and the elbow. If you feel like this is too much of a stretch for you, then you can feel free to come back down onto the left knee and just do like we did in the first round, just scrunching the knee in towards the left elbow, scrunch it in towards the nose, and scrunch it in towards the right. So wherever you're at here, we can get started. So I'm going to come back up into my downward dog, but feel free to stay on the knee if this is where you're at today. That's totally fine. So as we inhale, stretch the leg back. Exhaling, bringing it in towards the left. Inhaling, stretching. Exhaling in towards the nose. Exhaling towards the right. Last round. Back to downward dog. We'll do the same at the opposite side. Inhaling to raise the left leg. Exhaling, we'll bring it to the right elbow. To the nose. Last round. Right elbow. Nose. Left elbow. Back to downward dog. Looking forward, drop the knees. We'll come back down into another child's pose and take a rest here for a few breaths. Core remains engaged. Next inhale, we're going to look forward, come up onto the knees. We can come into either a high plank, plank on the elbows, or you can keep the knees down. So do whatever feels good for you here. I'm going to bring the palms in under the shoulders, tuck the toes, come into a plank position, and just hold it here for a couple of breaths. Exhale, slowly lower down. Bring your hands in beside your chest. As we inhale, we'll push up into a cobra. Core remains tight, shoulders back and down. Gently looking up towards the ceiling. And exhale. Slowly lowering back down. You can bring your hands into a pillow. And just rest your forehead here for a few breaths. As you reconnect with the breath, slow it down. Next inhale, lift the forehead, bring the hands in beside the chest, pushing into the palms, come back up onto the knees, as we're going to come around to seated on our mat. So next we're going to come into Navasana, which is our boat pose. So we're going to have the sit bones firmly on the mat. As we inhale, we'll lengthen the spine, open the chest. You can come to grab the back of the knees, and then just work on lifting one leg, then the other leg, maybe both legs together. You can hold on to the back of the knees, just making sure the spine remains long, chest open, core is tight, so you're really engaging the core here. Bring your knees maybe a little higher. You can bring your palms out in front or beside your shins. You can try to stretch the legs. Just come to wherever's comfortable for you. If you're working on one leg, then the other tapping, that's totally fine. Hold it for a couple of breaths, wherever you're at. We're going to come down, cross at the ankles. You can either push into the palms or the fists. We're just going to lift the sit bones up off the mat. You can even come up onto the toes here, really engaging the core. Exhaling, slowly lower back down. Come into one more Navasana, so either grabbing the back of the knees, bringing the feet to tabletop, stretching the arms out by the side, or stretching the legs. Core remains tight wherever you're at. Come back to cross the ankles. The opposite leg comes in front this time. Squeezing the knees in towards the chest. Pushing into the palms or the fists. We're going to lift the sit bones up off the mat again. Again, you can come up onto the toes. Core is engaged. Take a breath here. Exhale to lower down. We're going to come to stretch the legs out in front. And slowly lower back down onto our mat. So you can slowly lower down with control. So you can have your legs straight or bent. Keeping the core engaged. Slowly lowering back down onto your mat. So you can come to bring the hands, palms of the hands to the back of the head. You can have your legs straight or bent. And we're going to bring the left knee in towards the chest and stretch the right leg out in front. As we lift the upper body, bring the right elbow to the left knee. And then do the same with the opposite side. We'll continue with this for a few rounds. So left elbow to right knee. Core remains engaged, getting a good twist. And bring the knees back into the chest. Give them a good squeeze. Again, core remains engaged. As you exhale, let the legs fall out in front. The heels fall to the edges of the mat. Arms come away from the body, palms facing up as we come into Shavasana to relax following our practice. So you can let go of the tightness in the abdominal area and just relax. Bring your breath back to your natural rhythm. Notice how your stomach rises as you inhale and falls as you exhale. Just focus on this breath for the next few moments as you allow your body to sink into your mat and just totally relax. Feeling the benefits of today's practice. Let your breath gradually slow. With each exhale, you feel more and more relaxed. On your next inhale, bring your awareness back to the body by wiggling the fingers and the toes, rocking the ankles and the wrists from side to side. Gently rock the head from side to side. As you inhale, reach the arms back overhead to bring the feet together and stretch the whole body. As you exhale, bend the knees, hug them in towards the chest. Take a breath here. And rock from side to side. Next inhale, we'll pull the knees back towards us and we're going to rock up towards seated. Coming into a cross-legged seated position, hands are on the knees. As we inhale, we'll reach the arms up overhead to lengthen. Exhaling, bringing them into prayer and back down to heart center. Namaste.